listening to Streets of Success with Frank and Jalil. We got some topics we're going to cover today, and we're going to let Jalil set it off. Yeah. So, before incarceration, do you feel like you had a purpose? Do you think you have a purpose now? And if so, what is it?
My man over there knocked out in the background. Yeah, before incarceration, I felt like I had a purpose. I didn't realize the extent of how much that purpose meant to me at the time.
What was it?
Just being a game changer.
That was your purpose?
Yeah, being a game changer. Being a great, first and foremost, grandson, big brother, and friend.
So,
son, all of that.
If that was your purpose, but your actions weren't in line with the purpose, because if you're doing stuff for you to be removed from society.
Yeah, well, you know, your typical person think that they always have time. We always think we got time to change and we got time to do this, and it's like, we don't know when we're gonna die. We don't know if we're gonna get locked up. You know what I'm saying? We always look as if like, yo, when I turn this age, I'm gonna do this, and there's nothing bad with planning, but a lot of times you have to like start at that moment and stop thinking you have the time. Okay. And I think that was like my mindset. Like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then it's like.
So you were just doing things without the consequences of it, or you just didn't care about the consequences? Because if you're saying you want to be a good grandson, you being present is the most important thing to be able to provide that.
Yeah, but we don't realize that though. Yeah. I mean, who's planning to go to jail?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody plans to go to jail.
But you can plan to stay out of jail.
Yeah, you can, but that wasn't our mindset at the time. We smoking weed, getting drunk almost every day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That wasn't our mindset, like, I'm planning to stay out of jail. Our plan to stay out of jail was when we seen the cops to go the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is in the streets. Like, nobody plans to, like, go to jail, right?
So what was your plan to pursue your purpose then, if that was it, before you went to jail? What was your plan then, or... Was it just like making money and providing, or?
That wasn't the only thing. It didn't have anything to do with like, as far as like a monetary based kind of thing. It was like maintaining my morals, making sure I helped my grandma wash the dishes because I know she had a long day at work.
Okay.
Like helping my grandpapa in and out the house. You know what I'm saying? Just staying genuine to my friends and to my family. Like, that meant more to me than anything as far as like any type of monetary gain.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
If I had a purpose before?
Yeah.
I could say like the same thing, like I took care of my family and I was an asshole sometimes too, but for the most part, like I kinda had a big heart like I do now, but I used to like justify why I would do bad shit, or not be like, oh, I do this for you anyway, so you can't even be mad at me if I do this.
Right.
So, as far as like my purpose, I really don't think I had like a strong purpose like I do now. I feel like the stuff that you're mentioning is just a part of being a decent human being, like helping my grandmom and giving my mom a ride or whatever it is, nothing monetary, but
that's rare now. That's rare. Like, you don't see that as much as we used to see it, like, growing up and stuff like that. It's kind of rare, like, you know what I'm saying?
I think people are so focused on themselves, that's why.
Yeah.
It's like, there's no benefit for me here.
That can be the case.
But, yeah, as far as purpose, though, like, that was just, like, a part of me living and surviving, just, like, you know, stuff helping out around the house or giving my mom money, whatever it was. But as far as, like, a deeper sense of purpose, no, I didn't have one.
Yeah.
So what deepened your purpose? Like, did it take for you to get incarcerated, or was it when you were fighting your case, when you came home?
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously now we got a podcast. We're giving back to the community. We're going to go speak at a juvenile placement on Tuesday.
Right.
So obviously now we have a way stronger purpose than we did before because we're doing these things that seem to give back more. What do you think for you the changing point was, or when you started to develop it?
Jail did play a major part in it, being in prison and jail also. I wouldn't say too much jail, because the county, it was still like we were on the streets.
Yeah.
But like upstate, it played a big part on it. Just seeing like different walks of life and all different types of things, like just soaking up information from people that, that didn't think how I thought.
I got something for you. So we're talking about, purpose and seeing individuals upstate. What about those people that come in and out like a revolving door, this their third time, fourth time, and when they go back out that they're probably coming back?
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I think I learned a lot from seeing other people's failures, and that kind of gave me a purpose, because you see someone coming in and out, it's like, what are you doing out there when you get this opportunity?
Yeah.
And you're not capitalizing on it, and you're just going right back into the same bullshit. So for me, seeing people without a purpose kind of gave me a purpose.
Right, that too. And it just made me realize everybody don't have to like get to that. Everybody doesn't mature or doesn't see the bigger picture or realize they have a purpose. And for some people, it takes longer than others. Like sometimes it might take people their 10th time going in and out of jail to realize, like, man, I'm done with this. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving this shit up.
Yeah.
Like, but then there's some people that go to jail one time for a day, and they might just get their fingerprints ran and photo taken, and
that's
it's
enough,
like, that's enough. Like, I can't eat cheese sandwiches and shit.
Yeah. And another thing, like, I want to touch on too is like, it don't have to be like, you don't have to change the world.
Yeah.
But I feel like just being driven towards something, like some type of person is going to keep you on a straighter path. Like even if it's just being a good father and securing a job, and that's all your purpose is. Like you don't need to go run for mayor. You don't need to go give 100 jackets out to the school.
Yeah.
But just having some type of purpose in a positive direction is going to do more for you than absolutely nothing, and just staying on like the hamster wheel and not being conscious of everything you're doing.
Yeah. Sometimes it could be just a simple, like, kind gesture or something like that. Just, man, you know what I'm saying? Asking somebody how their day was.
Yeah.
Like, that can make their whole week good.
Yeah.
It's simple stuff like that we don't realize that has effects on people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know people that tell me that I might get a text, hey man, have a good day, I'm proud of you, da-da-da-da, and that gives me more fuel to go harder. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
positivity is important, like spreading it. That's what I try to do every day.
Yeah.
And it's hard when you, it's hard for you to give out positivity when you're not getting it.
Yeah.
Because like you're not in that state. So how can I give it out? Like I'm frustrated and mad and angry, and my day's not going good.
Yeah.
So it's hard for you to give it out. But then that's what it comes back down to, like self-control and being able to, check your temperature and bring yourself down to like a clear mental space.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. It's crazy.
So we'll go back to the prison talk. What's one of the biggest things you learned in prison, or something that it has taught you from being in there? Now, it might be a bunch of little things, it might be one really big thing, but what can you give us about that for you?
With that question, bro, I really can never give you one biggest thing.
Yeah.
I never can give you one small little thing. Like, it's so crazy. It's a bunch of different things that could change your mind and your perspective of life in general. Like, if you really just want to change, you know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of things, bro. Like,
so not to cut you off, but you did 5 years, so that's 365 days in a year. So you're looking at what, 3,000 days in prison, maybe 2,500 days in prison, something like that. Yeah. So every single day is like another opportunity to see yourself from like, damn, what the fuck am I doing, or what do I need to do, or how did I get here? Yeah. And you kind of critique yourself. That's what I did anyway.
Yeah.
Kind of critique myself, like, all right, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to stop doing this. But you can't pick anything particularly like you know, a girl breaking up with you in there, or you know, you missed someone's birthday or anything like that?
Yeah. Oh man. Losing people while being incarcerated, not being able to be there for like their families or the rest of my family. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you mentioned that real quick, because yesterday me and my stepdad were riding over to Sam's Club, and we're talking about family, and I wasn't home when my little brother passed away. I was in CFCF. I just came up on like my 2-year mark, and I'm getting ready to get sentenced, and then I called home and found out my little brother passed away, and I asked him, I was like, how was that out here?
Yeah.
Like, you don't expect your little brother or your son to bury your son, like, and I asked him, like, how was that out here? Like, how did everyone deal with it? Because me, I was like, my cellie just left me alone for like a week. But it's tougher out here because it's like you're in reality. I think it might have been tougher out here than in there, but like, yeah, losing, and it really dawned on me yesterday, like, damn, I really missed, like, if I was home, I might have did something different to where he wasn't caught up in what he was doing. And, you know, I kind of blame myself for it, but I know, you know, everything happens for a reason. That's what I think, so.
And look at it like God really worked in mysterious ways, because if you were home, it could have also went the other way. Like, I'm going to do something to somebody, like, you not being able to control your emotions. You wouldn't have been in the state of mind that you're in right now. You know what I'm saying? And you could have did something whereas though you're not sitting next to me right now, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be in the same headspace. Like, anything could have happened. So you got to look at it that way too. Like, it was kind of a blessing in disguise at the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just, you don't expect to, you know, he was about 20 years old. You don't expect to, like, get that phone call. And he wasn't on drugs or nothing like that. Or in the streets even. So it was like really caught me off guard. And then yesterday I'm driving and started bawling, like tearing up. It just sucks, dude, because I didn't get to say goodbye or get any time around. He didn't come up and see me when I was locked up. Like, you know, it's not planned. It just sucks that it happened. But well, I know my mom's still bury a kid. Got to be crazy.
Yeah.
So
it's a touchy situation, man.
Yeah, so I guess like if we're talking about what prison taught me, I guess that'll be to appreciate your time with people when you have it. Because honestly, like, I didn't expect my brother to pass away that young, so I didn't value our time at all, and I didn't make time to even spend time with him because it's like, oh, I'm going to see him when I see him.
Right.
And next thing you know, you're not going to see him ever again. And you just, you know, for me, it was like, especially my grandma too, even because I came home, my grandma was doing really bad, and she ended up dying 6 months after I came home. So, but yeah, I heard that she was doing really bad, like my last year, like getting out the hospital, breathing problems. So I was like, you know, I'm talking on her phone, like, you better be there when I get out there. She's like, I'm going to be here. I came home. She was living in my sister's house, in and out of the hospital, though, but she had a hospital bed in the middle bedroom. And I was in the basement still then. And every morning, wake up, have a cup of coffee with her. I was working, doing deliveries, bringing her home cheese fries every night. That's what she asked me for. And, you know, I got her last 6 months kind of spent with me.
Yeah.
While I was still with my sister, so I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be rough, man. It can really.
And not to take you off, because you were just bringing up stuff of, like, you know, what jail taught you, and you were just bringing up, like, you know, losing people and stuff like that. That's why I brought that conversation up.
Yeah. Man.
What did it teach you about other people, and what did it teach you about yourself? If we want to go a little bit deeper into it.
It taught me about myself that I should never depend on anybody as much as I did. It taught me how to survive.
Now survive like I'm gonna go hunting and fishing, or survive like mentally?
Survive mentally. Like, no matter how long I was locked in a cell, I wasn't gonna let that mentally affect me. I wasn't gonna go crazy. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I always laughed instead of crying. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
So it's like, it taught me a lot mentally, and it made me mentally stronger on another level. And I felt like if I can get through that, like, I can get through anything. I can accomplish anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you learn how to deal with something that you didn't want to deal with. So if it's something that you want, you're going to be able to deal with that because it's something that you want. So whatever, like, you know, if you're starting a podcast or you're going into real estate or flipping houses, whatever it is, like, you're going to deal with the torments and the disasters because you know what you're in it for.
Yeah.
With jail, you're not in it for nothing but the fact just to survive it.
Yeah, right.
What did it teach you about people, though? Like other people?
It taught me a lot about other people, man. Like I said, the people that you love the most, and a lot of times is like in those times in your life that you might be incarcerated or you're at your lowest, you'll see like who's really there for you and riding for you, or it's going to rock and roll for you. When it's like you considered at the bottom of the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
It exposes who's really around and who wasn't really around anyway.
Yeah, for different types of benefits. I mean, for their own selfish reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it definitely showed me like you can't depend on anyone, man.
Even your closest family, huh? Can you say that? Or was it your expectations of them?
Yeah, I feel like I can't even say my closest family because my closest family was there for me, but I do have a lot of family that I didn't talk to or see in years when I was incarcerated. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't bother to reach out, nothing.
Nah. So it was like, it just showed me like, as much as I would do or bend over backwards for certain people at their lowest, that I wouldn't get that in return. So it just my outlook on different people, it changed.
Does that affect the way you deal with people when you come home?
Nah, actually it didn't. I still loved everybody the same. I still treated them the same, but my expectations of them wasn't as high as it was in the past. Like, I mean,
they already showed you their cards.
Yeah, they showed me their cards, but it's like I didn't let how they acted or how they treated me when I was incarcerated change how I treated them. I didn't let it change me. I still love the people that I love and stuff like that. Yeah. But I just know like
you can't count on them.
I can't count on them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I couldn't count on them before, so I'll be a dummy to think I can count on them now. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, I know like I would never put myself in that situation again where I had to count on them or think it mean that they're going to be there.
Right.
I mean, yeah, bro. So it's like I said, man, I don't wish jail or prison on anyone, but like I definitely feel like it saved my life. It changed me in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been with the craftiest of the craftiest people. My outlook on different things is so different, so I know how to. It's just so much, bro. Like you know how it was, bro. Like so, it's crazy, man. How was your outlook on like your friends and family and stuff like that, or people that you depended on? Like, did it change you, like your relationship with them, or was it like the same?
It did when I was in there. I got resentful and I was in my own head about it a lot. Like even my family, like my own mom, like I held resentment towards them for not doing what I would have done if they were in a situation.
Right.
Or what I thought I would have done. I can't say what I would have did because my closest people really didn't get locked up. But yeah, I up until like a year and a half before I got released, then I know like holding a grudge. First and foremost, it's my own fault I'm in here. You know, right. So no one owes me anything. Secondly, I was always thinking like, what is me being mad at them doing for me? So like, kind of like selfishly, like I can't hold a grudge because all it is I'm holding that in to me. What's it gonna do to them? Like, you know what I mean? It's not doing. They didn't do something for me, or they forgot about me, whatever, that's still like, you know, that's their business. My business is how I'm going to act. Same thing like kind of how you said, like I didn't let it change me. I did when I was in there, but up until like a year and a half, so I got released, I started forgiving people. Like I had one of my friends fought out with one of my other friends, and I cut him off mentally in there, and I'm like, I'm not, if you don't fuck with him, I'm not fucking with him when I come home.
Right.
Another friend I wrote a couple times, and I was really close with. He didn't, you know, he wasn't answering the phone, didn't write me back, whatever. I mean, fuck him. But these two people, one of them ended up getting me a job, and then the other one ended up, you know, helping me get a house. Mm-hmm. And I let it go, and I'm like, and they forgave me, like, oh my bad, I didn't, you know, write you more, I didn't, and I'm like, you know what, it's all good because I shouldn't have been in there in the first place.
Right.
And like, our relationship out here is, you know, what it is, and at the end of the day, you can't rely on nobody. So it's like, if I'm mad at you, I gotta be mad at the other people too that I don't even really like. Or what it did though too, it made me appreciate the people that were around more rather than hate the people that weren't there. That's what it made me do more, is have appreciation for the other people that stuck it out with me, that did answer the phone, that did send money, that did write me, that did send pictures. So I just gauged it towards more love for people rather than more hate towards the people that weren't.
So let me ask you this. What would you change in your life? Like, would you change like everything that you've been through? Like, as far as like going through jail, going through prison, like, would you, like, if you can go back, would you make different decisions? Or is like, aside from like the victims that were hurt or whatever like that, and the victims' families, like, all of that out the window, would you change not going to prison? Like, would you change?
No.
Basically, like, you wouldn't change it, right?
I wouldn't at all.
That's how I feel. And at that moment, it's like,
If you would have asked me, like, do you want to go home right now with this being the same person you are, or do you want to go home in 5 years as this new person? I would have said, send me home right now as the person I am, and I'll work on myself when I get home.
Absolutely.
But now looking back at it, I'm like, I wouldn't have did what I did in there and became the person I am today. So, yeah, like you said, the victims getting hurt and the families that were involved, you know, put that situation to the side and just focused on like me and what I went through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted two things. It gave me the time to work on myself and develop a plan. But secondly, I don't know where I will be at today, and I'm cool with where I'm at today.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool with where I'm at. I don't want to have to like roll the dice, and it could have been, what is it, the movie The Butterfly Effect? Like, you change one thing and then it's a whole different. Like, I could have came home, beat my case, came home, and then now I think I'm invisible, and I could have did something worse. Or, you know, I could have went down another path to where I wasn't on this positivity or this mindset shift stuff, and I'm like, get back in the streets or doing shit that I shouldn't be doing, or could have messed with a girl that, you know, I had 4 kids with and we don't even work out and it's a disaster. Like, anything could happen. So knowing what I went through and where I'm at now, I'm completely content with that.
Right. I am as well, man. I'm content with it. Like, if I had the opportunity to change it, I wouldn't. But if I had the opportunity to change it and I came out with the mindset that I have right now without going to prison, I would change that as well, probably.
But you don't know. You going through that is what gave you the mindset, though.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm saying, like, if it was like something in my life that was life changing and it gave me the mentality that I have now, then I would like not want to go through prison. You know what I'm saying?
There's probably those two that probably don't coexist.
Yeah, more than likely they probably don't. But I'm just saying, just shooting from the hip. Yeah. What were some difficulties of you like coming home that you dealt with, other than like the relationships that might have went astray that you had before you went to prison and stuff like that?
That wasn't a big deal, the relationships. Nah, because you kind of like, you know, either fuck with people or you don't. You build a relationship back up or you just, you know, cancel it and it ain't nothing there. But some difficulties were definitely being around people that didn't have the same mindset as me.
Okay.
And they're still in their same habits, same routines, and you get around these people and you're like, this is what you're still doing.
Yeah.
Like that was hard because it's like I don't want to conform and go back to how I was, how they are, and I didn't want to be like, oh, Frank's too good for us now, or he's burnt out, or he got that prison mindset.
Yeah.
So that was a difficult to me. Just like either like I had to adjust a little bit and become like my friends, or I had to motivate my friends to adjust and become more like me. Not that I'm like anything special, but I knew like what I had to change and what I had to do to become this person and have this mindset, and I wanted the same for them too.
Yeah, because they probably was like, dang, Frank, he was smoking crack with his woman. He told me, come home, he's so good.
Never touched no crack. Stop playing.
I had to get that all real quick.
Now this is what we're doing. This is what we're going to start doing. Okay.
No, man, but no, I definitely feel you, man. I definitely feel you.
On the crack tip?
Yo, no, but like.
Yeah, just adapting to your friendships and relationships, because you still got a history with these people and you still got a relationship with them, but you just aren't on the same wavelength. But that adjusts, and you don't spend as much time with them, or you do spend more time, and they elevate too. So that's one thing. And another difficulty would probably be being so ambitious and waking up every day in the same position that I was in. Because my reason in jail was, I'm going to read, study, learn, and do all this stuff, knowing that I can't really do anything to change my situation besides read, study, and learn. When I come home, I can implement everything. So now that I have the freedom, but I'm waking up every day in the same position, just working, saving money, working. So it's kind of like you're in this rut, and you're like, is this all it's going to be?
Right.
So that was a difficulty too, and having patience, like, you got, big dreams, especially if you're working yourself in there and you came up with a plan. So the patience, after like being 6 months home, like I had to really start working on my patience.
All right, so since we're on the topic of difficulties, give me some fears as well. Like, what fears did you have? Like, did you have like, man, am I gonna, like, the stuff that I planned in jail before I came home, like, am I gonna accomplish it? Like, what fears did you have leaving out those gates, bro? When you was coming out and you took that state jacket off.
Temptations, because like, you got females, you got alcohol, you got drugs, you got, gambling or video games. You don't have them temptations in there. So coming home, I knew I was going to be tested, because now like, everything's at your fingertips.
Right.
So that's like one of the fears I had, because I can control myself in an environment where there isn't too much of that stuff, and now I'm going to a place where it's so accessible. So that was definitely a fear of mine that I had, and I knew that. And the fear of being content and lazy. Like, I had a feeling that I wasn't going to be, but I didn't want to just be grateful to be home. Like, even though I was, but I didn't want it to be like, oh, I'm home and that's it. No, I wanted to continue doing great things in my life, and I didn't want to ever get content and lazy. So that's two of the fears there. And what about you? What fears did you have, coming out? Taking that 2X blazer off, the brown blazer.
Yeah, this will be drawn. I had a lot of fears too. I can't sit here and act like I was like perfect stepping out the door. I'm still not perfect. I'm still learning. Still have fears. One of my biggest fears was just catching myself standing on the corner or going back to my old life. So now it's like, when I do go by for the most part, I stop, speak to family. I don't care if I'm standing in the middle of the block catching up with like some old friends or family or whatever. I'm not standing on the corner.
Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest things that go on my mind. Lil, you're not standing on that corner. Get off that.
Take 2 steps over, you catch yourself on the corner.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not standing on the corner. So that was one of my biggest fears. Just going back home, sitting on the corner, just letting my life drift away, right? Like, just letting it go away just by sitting on the corner, not doing nothing.
How old? So we go around your neighborhood, and even a lot of neighborhoods in the city, you see some of these dudes that are like 40 years old still on the corner.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
At 40?
Older than that.
50.
Yeah, you see people 50, 60 years old still on the corner, still doing the same thing.
I don't got nothing wrong with the corner. I mean, I was just pitching quarters like a month ago, messing around in the corner pitching quarters. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't have anything like. All right, so the corner taught me a lot, just as well as being in prison did. You know what I'm saying? That's also a part of my life that got me to where I'm at and in the mentality state that I'm in right now, the mental state that I'm in right now. Like,
it was a part of your journey, and you probably took something from it, bad or good. Yeah.
Exactly. So, like I said a little earlier, everybody has a point in time. Whereas though some people learn, some people it takes them 10 times to go through the same process to learn. You know what I'm saying? So everybody different. So it's like I try to stay away from judging people for what they are doing, because it was a point in life where people roll by anytime you go by Murder 100 and then you'll see me out there. Yeah. You mean hustling or doing whatever, just post it up, smoking, drinking. You know what I'm saying? That was the process to get to where I am now. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but at some point it isn't judging though. You're calling a spade a spade. Like you're sitting out there wasting your life, and not to be judgmental about it, because like I've done stuff in the corners too. But it's the fact of you know what it is because you did it and you understand it. It's not that you're judging them. It's just like you understand why they're doing it.
Right.
But you can't judge them because you grew past that. You know what I mean? Like you grew up and you understood and you learned different than them, because that's all it is people are misinformed and they lack ambition, so they go right to what they know.
Right. It's the easy way.
It's the only way.
Yeah.
It's natural.
Yeah, absolutely. Because where we come from, that's all we see. So if you're in that environment, Frank, and you're a kid, you're in the kindergarten, first grade or whatever, and you come outside every day, you know you want to be a doctor, you want to be a firefighter, you want to be an architect, whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? But every day, you're seeing the same stuff every time you leave outside. And then the same people that you see outside when you going to school and you're in the first or second grade, whatever grade you're in, you're seeing the same people when you come back in and the same stuff going around. And it's like, it's easy to say like, I'm not going to do this. I know this is bad, but subconsciously it's really getting in your brain without you even realizing it. And before you know it, you're doing the same thing.
You're being programmed.
Yeah, in a way.
You're kind of being programmed.
In a way. Oh man, this is a little deep, but when I went to school and when I went to prison, it wasn't too much of a difference. The same stuff that we were eating in school was the same BS that they was giving in prison. The same school bus that we might have took to school was the same school bus that when they transferred us from prison to prison or we went to court.
More secure, more shackles.
What was the difference? Yeah. We heard the bell ring in school. That means it's time to go to our next class. When the bell rung in the state prison, it was time to lock in. It was time for camp, the gym, the education building. It was the same thing. It's no different. Yeah. Everything is kind of the same. So it's like
institutionalized.
Yeah, it's like you're really becoming a part of the rat race. Yeah. It's the same thing. The program you at a young age, and then eventually you're gonna be doing the same thing when you get to prison. They know from when you're in the kindergarten, first grade, where you're going to end up at when you get a certain age.
Now, chances are, because we can't say everyone does go down this path.
No.
It's you got a higher chance, and I believe being in the inner city, not just Philadelphia, but you got like Detroit's a shithole.
Yeah.
Cleveland, Baltimore, like these
Chicago,
inner cities.
All these cities, New York, like statistics show that you have a higher chance of going to prison in these areas. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, what's the difference from kindergarten to middle school to junior high to high school to the state prison? Everything is exactly the same. I don't see no difference.
I would like to get a statistic on people that don't go to college. What is it? If they come from a public school and they don't go to college, what are the chances of them ending up in prison in a inner city area like a high crime city? I wonder what the chances are.
I don't know. We need
a guy for statistics like Joe Rogan got.
We'll be there soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely got to look that up though to see the stats.
So you told me some fears. What about some like difficulties that you had? Like, was it getting a job? Was it, getting a housing? Was it, going back to like people judging you for being different now, and you didn't like the way that felt? Like, what are some difficulties?
I don't think I really ever cared about people judging me for being different. That was like never. I never really cared about that because it's like I felt like more people was happy that I was taking this route than going back to what I did before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people were more happy that I changed.
So what were some difficulties then?
The job process was hard. I started off working. I think my first job was working at a
strip club.
No, you're fucking. No, it's crazy. We was stripping.
Is that shaky butts?
Wrong, man. Scary, man. It was actually we was stripping cars coming off the ship though. It's crazy. We was stripping out like new cars. It was
he was ripping the bumpers off.
Oh man. What's up with this bull?
Were you ripping the bumpers off?
What's up with this bull, man?
Go ahead.
Yo. So we basically, you silly as shit. So the cars was coming off the ship, man. As they came off the ship, we had to take new cars, they come like plastic, come on the steering wheel, come on the radio, all of that type stuff. So as we did all the stripping, put the plastic in the bags, somebody else would come in and drive the cars to the parking lot.
The showrooms or
whoever they was selling them to. Maybe be Enterprise and different car dealerships and stuff like that. Yeah, and I was busting my ass to like make sure like wasn't nothing wrong to like try to prove to the supervisor and the manager like.
How much were you making?
I think I was making $21 an hour.
It's not bad.
Yeah, $21 an hour.
For stripping,
yeah. So
you get any tips?
I was hyper. Spoiled, man. What's wrong with this ball, man?
You got me started.
So yeah, like I was just trying my best to prove to them like that I was qualified for the job, and I was doing good. You know what I'm saying? Then eventually, out of nowhere, it was. I think it was like. People told me, I had a thought popped in my mind, but people told me and they kind of confirmed what I thought. I think it was like more of some racist stuff because it was a couple friends that I met in there. They was females. They was cool. They still my homies to this day. You know what I'm saying? And in between or like lunch breaks and stuff like that, they would come over and eat with me or we'd go to lunch together and stuff like that. And they were saying like the managers and stuff didn't like when you talk to like the white girls and stuff like that. I mean, so next thing you know, I was fired. Come to find out, the manager had a crush on the girls that was alright with me. So I'm like busting my ass to make sure I keep the job and making sure everything was cool, and they fired me. And right then and there, I'm like, man,
how long were you there for?
This shit, I'm not working. Well, I'm gonna open my own business.
So you didn't think about going back to that block?
No. Yeah, so I'm like, after like it's over. Like I'm opening my own businesses. Like it's over. I mean, that's how that went as far as the job and stuff like that.
Well, I think that's a good episode for today. You can wrap this thing up. Wrap it up like you didn't when you came home.
Pause. Yo, listen, man. I'm gonna tell y'all this next episode. Man, this is a great ball, man. But he went in the tight end and came out a wide receiver, man. And I ain't talking about football.
242. All right, yeah. Shout out to Envision Production.
Dude, before we do it.